Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're getting right into it. We're setting up for a deep dive into the incredibly crisp, culturally rich, and honestly just super refreshing world of Mexican mixology. If you love breaking down classic recipes, understanding their exact flavor profiles, and uncovering the history behind them, well, you're absolutely in the right place. We're going to completely deconstruct a true classic today. We'll explore the anatomy, the variations, and some pretty surprising lore behind a cultural staple. Let's get started.
Okay, let's dive into this. What is Mexico's definitive grapefruit cocktail? I mean, when most of us think of Mexican cocktails, our minds immediately jump straight to the margarita, right? It's famous, it's on literally every menu, and it's known globally. But there's another drink, an everyday staple, a total champion of flavor that actually holds the real crown when it comes to grapefruit-based refreshment in Mexico. Take just a quick second to see if you can guess it before we break the whole thing down.
Section 1. Mexico's grapefruit cocktail. And if you guessed the Paloma earlier, you absolutely nailed it. It's this brilliant tequila-based masterpiece that we're about to fully deconstruct.
Section 2. Anatomy of a Paloma. Let's move to and see how this builds.
Because to truly understand this drink, we've got to look at its exact sensory components. It's a wonderfully crisp list of ingredients. You start with a really solid base of tequila, which is then mixed with fresh lime juice to give it that sharp, acidic bite. But here's where the truly authentic Mexican touch comes in. You top the whole thing off with a grapefruit-flavored soda. Down in Mexico, this is specifically and traditionally made with squirt gran soda or jarritos. You can use Fresca too if that's what you've got on hand. Then you just serve this beautiful effervescent mixture over ice, garnish it with a fresh lime wedge, and, if you're feeling it, you can add that optional salt on the rim to literally make those citrus flavors pop on your palate.
Now, there's actually a fascinating contrast in how you can prepare this classic. On the one hand, you have the traditional method using that sweet, bubbly grapefruit soda we just talked about. It's quick, it's accessible, and it's highly authentic to everyday Mexican culture. But alternatively, you could go with the fresh juice method. Here, you replace the soda entirely with fresh white or red grapefruit juice, known in Spanish as jugo de toronja. And because you're losing the carbonation from the commercial soda, you simply add club soda to bring back that essential fizz. It creates this really wonderful natural tension and variety in how you build the drink. You either get a sweeter, more relaxed everyday profile, or a sharper, more artisanal craft cocktail vibe.
Section 3. Beyond the basic recipe. So, we've established the core identity. Now let's get into the plot twists.
Because every great cocktail has fascinating variations. First, let's look at what happens when you strip the drink down to its absolute bare bones. You get what's called the simple Paloma. This is a heavily stripped down, strictly 2-ingredient cocktail. It's just step 1, tequila, and step 2, grapefruit-flavored soda. No lime juice, no salt rim, no extra frills whatsoever. Just the pure, unadulterated combination of those two primary flavors, that earthy agave and the sweet, bubbly grapefruit.
And this brilliantly illustrates how a recipe can evolve. We just looked at the beautifully minimal, simple Paloma. But if we introduce a more complex variant called the Cantarito, well, the complexity significantly levels up. As you can see, both of them share that essential foundation of tequila and grapefruit soda. But the Cantarito brings back the lime juice, and then it hits you with a heavy citrus boost by adding both fresh lemon juice and fresh orange juice. It's a fantastic representation of how mixology builds upon a foundational profile. It literally takes a simple highball and turns it into a vibrant, multi-layered citrus explosion.
Let's pit the Paloma against its closest cocktail relative for a second, the Greyhound. Both are wildly popular grapefruit-based cocktails. But here's the key takeaway from our source material today. The Paloma is widely considered to be the significantly more flavorful of the two. Why? Well, while the Greyhound traditionally relies on a neutral spirit like vodka, the Paloma utilizes tequila. The combination of those complex, earthy notes from the agave and the tequila, paired with that very specific sweet tart citrus profile of the grapefruit, gives the Paloma a massive edge. It creates a depth of flavor that makes it stand out brilliantly against its closest kin.
Section 4. The mystery of the name. Let's slow things down just a bit here, because we've got a lingering historical mystery to unpack. We know what's in the drink, we know how to vary it, and we know how it stacks up against its relatives. But where does the name actually come from? Usually, classic cocktails have a very definitive creation story, a specific bartender who invented it, or a famous bar where it was first poured. But the Paloma? It's elusive. It actually has 2 competing theories regarding its linguistic origins, and the debate is absolutely fascinating.
So the crucial point is, it all comes down to 2 very different words. First, Paloma, which is Spanish for dove. This is by far the most common assumption. People assume the drink was named after the bird, maybe paying homage to a popular folk song of the same name, or maybe just nodding to the drink's elegant, refreshing nature. But there's a second, highly compelling possibility. Pomelo. This is the Spanish word for grapefruit. So some historians and mixologists suspect that the cocktail's name doesn't come from a bird at all. They think it's simply a linguistic derivation of the word pomelo. It's a fantastic tug-of-war between a poetic translation, the dove, and a literal, ingredient-based translation, the grapefruit.
The Paloma is definitive. It's highly flavorful, and honestly, it's surprisingly complex. Whether you're making the traditional version with a bottle of squirt, trying out the artisanal fresh jugo de toronja method,